Yeah, he had vulnerability, but there's this wonderful moment where the director who's helping fund the workshop kind of leans in and says, "Okay, you were right." And he doesn't. He just says, "I know, of course I
Yeah.
was right. I understand what I bring." I want to ask you also about the diner scene, which is so interesting because it's built around a song called Sunday, which seems like it's an homage to Stephen Sondheim and Sunday in the Park with George. And it is in this rendering an homage to Jonathan Larson because as you're watching it, you're like, oh, there's Cheetah Rivera. And I mean, it seems like every major person in musical theater of the last 25 years shows up somewhere in this scene. Let's take a listen.
On an island into river.
What do you think he would have thought of that scene with that many people honoring him in such a magnificent way?
Oh, I hope he's doing backflips. That's the that was the hope. The sort of irony is he wrote this homage to one of the great group numbers at the end of Act One, and he only ever sang it as a one-man song. And we realized we had an opportunity to make the choir of Jonathan Larson's dreams. And if one of his dreams is changing the landscape of musical theater, which he did but didn't live to see, we could also populate it with those shows that are influenced by his work. So that's why, Beth Malone is there representing Fun Home, and I have two of my Schuyler sisters in there, and there are his Rent original cast members, who some of whom he hasn't met yet in the timeline of this film. But it's a galaxy brain moment for him, and I'm so glad you showed it from that moment, because one of the other touches that I love that really happened later in the process was that final touch of the marquee of the Moondance Diner turning into a marquee and saying music and lyrics by Jonathan Larson in his handwriting. I think about how much he loved Sondheim and didn't live to see a Broadway theater renamed the Stephen Sondheim, where there's his name in Sondheim's handwriting. So I wanted to do the same for John in the last brushstroke of the sequence.